What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Will Hunting. Today, we're going to be giving you our top 5 horror movies from the year 2016. We've been on this journey for all the years in the 2010s. We're up to 2016. Very good year, Birdie. I think this is actually one of the more underrated years of horror that we've had in the last 10 years or so. I remember this one had a few bangers, man. We're going to talk about them here today.
Dude, I'm seeing so many banners, dude. I had to contain myself and stop at 12. But you told us we got to do 5 because you're so very mean. That's almost an impossible question to do. But I was able to manage to get a top 5 down. Hopefully yours is a lot easier than mine when you made yours.
You know, it was challenging for sure. There's a couple things I had to cut. A couple things I'm not sure in the middle that, tomorrow they might move up, tomorrow they might move down. We'll see what happens. But right now, I got my 5.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you on the same boat. Just right before we actually hit this record button, you got in here. I actually changed one in the very last minute. What is that? Stay tuned to find out. But before we dive into some 2016 horror movie talk, what are some of your favorite horror movies from the year 2016? Let us know in that comment section down below. I know y'all love to give us those suggestions. I've been reading those comments. Keep them coming because I know there's some we'll miss. So without further ado, Brad, do you have any honorable mentions?
I got two. One being Autopsy of Jane Doe. This movie, I've only seen it once, which is a disadvantage, but I really enjoyed it. Brian Cox is in there. He's great. Obviously, you got the whatever her name is in the Jane Doe role. She's laying around in the movie, but it's creepy. It's eerie, man. A couple people working at night with a cadaver at the freaking at the coroner's office. Doing their autopsy. Obviously, hence the name of the movie. And once they start opening her up, it just, a lot of questions get brought up throughout, and then a lot of answers come later. And it's one of those just creepy, eerie movies in the basement of a coroner's office. Storm outside, very atmospheric. I like it a lot. Number 6, or my other honorable mention, I think is going to be, I think I'm going to go with Lights Out here. No, yeah, let's go Lights Out. Let's go ahead and say Lights Out. It's tough. I had to kick it out of the top 5. Movie I really enjoyed, though. I've rewatched it a lot. And one thing I really like about the movie is the fact that it's only like an hour and 50. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. Like, it's really short. Like it's like an hour 15, hour 17 minutes, something like that. But it tells a good story. It's paced well. It's very quick. It's very eerie. It's very creepy. Bringing in Diana as the villain here. I like the characters in it. They're all very solid for the most part. And yeah, it's a nice little horror movie with some really good spooky elements. Obviously, this came from a short film, first one on YouTube, and then the director got a chance to do a full-blown movie, and it was we're glad he did. It's creepy as hell.
Diana.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, wrong Diana. But man,
Yeah.
dude, those are some great honorable mentions. I'm glad you mentioned the Autopsy of Jane Doe because I bet you a lot of people in our comic section would have attacked us if we forgot to mention it. It's also one of my favorite turn every room light off and watch the movie experience horror movie. But there's one more better than that, Brad, and that's my first honorable mention. You just talked about it. It's Lights Out. This is the
Lights
ultimate
Out
movie. Yeah. Barriers, man. And guys, you need to break this particular barrier. Turn every room in your lights off. No cell phones, anything. Complete darkness. As dark as you can get that room. And watch this movie. You will thank me. And the last thing I'll add, because Brad knocked out the good majority of it. Teresa Palmer's in this movie, and I love her as an actress. She's one of the hidden jewels of the horror genre in terms of the final girl. So anything she's a part of, I'm already in for it. So Lights Out, my first honorable mention. My second honorable mention, Brad, I have a good feeling this might be in your top 5. So I'm very interested to see if it makes it. It's a little movie. You know what? Actually, let's split it up. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's split. Just split. Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan, the second movie in this little hidden trilogy of Unbreakable. We got Split, and of course, we got the tragedy that's called Glass. But out of all 3 of those, Split's my favorite one. Brad, remind me the guy's name. James McAvoy?
That is correct.
Yes,
that is correct.
Yeah, well, sorry, because he's played so many characters in the movie, so I have no idea what character he wanted to play. But his performance in that movie is phenomenal. And lastly, this was actually not close to the debut, but one of her other standout films. Anya Taylor-Joy is in this movie as well. And of course, anything she's in, it's a joy to watch.
Yeah, it's a great flick. James McAvoy's great. I actually need to see that one again too because I haven't seen it since it came out. Didn't love it back then, but I think I might like it now. Number 5, I bumped Lights Out for this last second, and I don't know, they're close. This one's Hush from Mike Flanagan. Got Kate Siegel in there. It's a good home invasion story. Very simple. There's only 2 characters in the movie, and there's a couple little small ones that show up for a second. But for the most part, there's just 2 characters in the movie. You got Kate Siegel's character, who's a deaf, person at a cabin in the woods, pretty much hanging out by herself, and then her home gets invaded by a dude that's not deaf. So she's at a disadvantage here because he's out here. He's got this crazy mask on at first. He's trying to get in. Very simple storytelling here, but very well done because of the fact that you have a deaf character in there. And the challenges that brings is really cool. So I like that one a lot. You have a lot of good little self-talk from her mentally as she's thinking of ways to get out of the situation. That's kind of how her character comes to life. So that's really cool stuff. I like that a lot. It's creative and it's very suspenseful too. It's got some great moments. The setting being very secluded out in the woods is a good choice. So yeah, I dig the hell out of it. Every time I watch it, I like it, even more. One of the earlier Mike Flanagan flicks too. So it's great.
We just need to keep that movie hush hush. Nah, I'm just kidding. We absolutely do not, because that, Brad, is one of my traditional sayings of a good pick. So my number 5, and again, my 5 and 4, that's when I did a little quick switcheroo. So my new number 5 is going to be let's go into The Shallow, baby.
Not that movie.
No, not that movie, but it's the one with Blake Lively, The Shallows. Definitely a great shark movie. It has a lot of suspense in this movie. Of course, Blake Lively looking like 110% Fox, like she's absolutely gorgeous. But this one is just how they build up the tense moments in this movie. I think they did a really good job setting it up. And plus, it's a very realistic movie too. Like, what would you do? How would you survive this situation with a shark and all that? And of course, we cannot forget those assholes on the beach that steal her shit. Wherever you are,
that drunk guy,
because that was not cool. And I also wonder what kind of bourbon he was drinking in order for him to do such a thing. So, but guys, regardless, in the summertime, you need a shark movie. This is automatically one of the shark movies that I go to. The Shallows, number 5.
It's a doozy of a shark movie, man. Number 3 for me. Sorry, number 4 for me. Yeah, number 4 for me. This one again, disadvantage because I've only seen it once. Train to Busan. I think it's actually probably would go higher than this after I watch it again, but again, I haven't seen it. I don't remember a lot of the details, but I remember being very blown away by it. Foreign film, Korean, about some a zombie outbreak on a train, but it's much better than that. It's one of those zombie movies that tells a good story, compelling story, very emotional flick, very powerful flick. So it's one of those that I'm just going to have to watch again soon, and try to get a better feel for it. I think it could easily slide up this list a couple more spots, probably. But I just, again, it's there because it made a big impact on me, but I don't remember the details. I don't remember a lot of the things about it that I really enjoyed. So it's right there at number 4.
3 words. Re-watch it.
Oh, it's going to happen, man.
Yeah, see those balloons up right there? Because you made an excellent pick on that one. Absolutely, you should give it a rewatch. I dare you to. So, my number 4, Brad, is The Conjuring 2. Everybody knows me. I absolutely love the first Conjuring, as you all saw from the 2013 video. You gotta watch that video in order to know where it lines up in that particular ranking, but there's a safe assumption on that. But the second Conjuring movie, this is actually one of the very early on horror movies I watched in the theater with Brad over here, and I could not talk his head off enough about how excited I was for this movie, and it met all the expectations for a sequel. It's pretty much twice as more than the original. Good characters. The Warrens are back again, kicking ass and solving mysteries without Scooby-Doo, that is. And then we get the introduction to the nun, actually done right. The movies, not so much. This movie, absolutely. It almost wasn't even included. That nun is what saved this movie, and it freaking just works. And we get another in-depth into the true story of the big haunting overseas. In the British Isle, you want the biscuit.
The Einfeld haunting.
Yeah, so it's just Oh, in the beginning of the movie, we get the Amityville Horror, like a little snippet of that movie as as well. And it's just great. I just love The Conjuring. Definitely one of the best horror sequels out there, and it absolutely deserves to be in the top 5.
Yeah, that's my number 3 is Conjuring 2. And this one, when it came out, I saw it a couple times in theaters. I actually thought it was, at first at least, I enjoyed it almost more than I liked the first movie. I really did. I like the London setting. I thought it was really cool. Kind of a little bit more, obviously the first Conjuring is a little bit more secluded, being out on that big plot of land. This one was like, it's a community of townhomes. You're supposed to feel, they had kind of a safe vibe to it, but then there's so much crazy shit going on inside the house that contrasted that. So I kind of like that vibe about it. And, the characters were all good. They were fine. Ed and Lorraine, they were as good as always here. But it had some pretty good stakes in it at the end, man. I thought there was a good moment, with building up the relationship between Ed and Lorraine. And here they did a lot of good stuff with that. And at the end, they were kind of like, the main thing, going up against this entity. And I thought that added some more stakes to it. Ed was in trouble, if you will. Yeah, he was in danger. He was in big danger hanging out that window.
He was on a blind date. A blind date.
He was blind. He got steamed in the eye, man. He was running through this Christmas music playing. He's hanging out by the window. There's a fucking branch out there. He's about to chop his ass in half. I liked it. I thought it was good. Valak was good in this movie. Yeah, a lot of good spooks, a lot of good scares. And I like Ed Wilkins, whatever his name is, the guy that's just chilling downstairs waiting on you to bring him a TV dinner so he can enjoy. Yeah, whatever his name was.
Same thing.
Bill. It's Bill. His name was Bill. Bill.
Oh, Wilkins. Bill. Yeah.
Bill, get out of my house. It was good. Yeah, he was creepy. I like that. Scary movie. That's my number 3.
All right, Brad. For my number 3, I'm going to give you a little hint.
I got it. It's no, it's with when he climbs up in the tree to find the eagle's eggs and
what? No. Okay,
yeah.
but I appreciate you making sure I catch my breath right there, because I wasn't. You told me to don't breathe. Now I'm just kidding. You told me that mentally, but that is my number 3, Brad. It is Don't Breathe, man. And man, talk about like one of the big thriller horror movies I've ever seen in my life. That just got me so tense up that I was just a freaking nervous wreck. This was the movie right here. And also, this is the movie that makes me absolutely terrified of one freaking crucial kitchen tool that is, in the Thanksgiving era, and that is a turkey baster. I can never look at one ever the same again after this movie, and once you watch this, if you've never seen it before, you will know why. So go ahead and dive in and watch this movie, because the main villain does not able to watch this or watch anything, but it's still a badass, and you will get it. I challenge you to watch this movie, and also challenge you all to Don't Breathe.
Let's get basted. Hey, that's my number 2, man. That's my number 2 is Don't Breathe, actually. This is a movie I love. Yeah, Jane Levy's in this one. She's the one from Evil Dead 2013 movie. She's the lead here. She's playing a girl by the name of Rocky, I believe. And she's about her and her friends, man. So here's what I like about it, because it's her and her friends. They're going to go break into this old, like, veteran guy's house and steal all of his money. But, it's told through their perspective. They're protagonists, so they're like the good guys in the movie for all intents and purposes. But they're not bad. Like, they're all like, they're breaking into houses and shit. They're being bad. They're doing bad things. So I like that kind of twist on the home invaders. They're the home invaders, essentially. It's a home invasion flick, but they're the home invaders. It's a nice twist on it.
They're like the Harry and Mavs.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. And they get in there, they find out this guy, they wrecked into the wrong damn room, man. This guy's all fucked up over there. He's got some weird ass shit going on in the basement with turkey basters and all kinds of stuff. He's an evil guy as well. But I like that. But he's blind, and that's the whole thing about it. And that's what makes it interesting, is that they're creeping around the house, and like he's like super like aware with all of his other senses, but he can't see. So they kind of have an advantage, but it's his house at the same time, so it kind of evens out. And yeah, I like that a lot. But I thought she was great for being a character, breaking into houses, just stuff like that, rough around the edges. They made her really likable, and they made her, they gave her the motivation to break into the houses and stuff, and why she's doing such a thing. So great character. I think one of the better final girls, very underrated. And yeah, I mean, it would have been cool to see her come back in Don't Breathe 2, but that movie sucked. This movie was good, though. I like it a lot. I always go back to this one.
Hey, she ain't going down no more.
Yeah.
So my number two, Brad, it's actually one of the first times I've watched this movie last year for my 14 days of new horror movies thing I do every May. And definitely Braden Timmons, if you have not subscribed to the channel, be sure to do that, suggested this movie to me, and I kick myself in the face if I'm able to, because of how long it took me to go watch this movie. And what I'm talking about in my number two is 10 Cloverfield Lane. First off, man, John Goodman, definitely one of the great performances I've ever seen. It's actually my favorite John Goodman film. And of course, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. What can more I say about her? If you're a big fan of the horror genre, you know who she is. She makes every movie fantastic, every likable character. There's not one character that she just does not do well. She nails everything. This one in particular. And yes, in this movie, not as much of the whole 10 Cloverfield Lane. It's just for some reason it has the title, but most of this movie is just like this, kind of like it has a feel of a post-apocalyptic kind of like feel to it. And I don't want to give away that much because there are a lot of good twists and turns in this movie that I want you all to experience. So go in blind. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, John Goodman, that's all you need to know. That's the only pretty much two reasons you need to watch this movie.
Yeah, that's my number one, 10 Cloverfield Lane. This is one that, and I've been telling you to watch this movie for damn years, man. I've been
know.
Yeah. Wouldn't do it. But here we are. It's my number one. I love the movie. Yeah, like you said, Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character, she's great.
Yeah,
you know, she's driving around, normal day, she crashes, she wakes up in this fucking this bunker, dude. She's chained up like she's like in a room with a bed and a chain. She's shackled up in there. And John Goodman comes in. He's like, "Hey, you're in my bunker. Welcome. You know, we can play Monopoly and stuff, and like, there's probably some hot chocolate we can get, and we're gonna have a good time. But you can't leave because you'll die. The air's no good." And basically, the whole movie is spent just, you know, as an audience and as Mary Elizabeth, we're wondering, is the air bad? Is this actually not good? Can we not go out there? Or is this guy just fucking crazy and he's keeping me shackled up in here? I don't know. And that's what me as an audience, I didn't know. The whole movie, I was like, I know they have the Cloverfield Lane title here in the title. I don't know if it's going to be related, and you don't really find out until, you know, later in the movie, one way or another, which way it goes. So I like that aspect a lot. There, you know, another character gets dropped in at one point. You know, they have this whole great moment. But yeah, John Goodman was creepy as fuck in the movie, and I just, you know, again, a great secluded setting, just a couple characters is all you need to really tell a good, compelling story. That's what they do here, and to me, it's one of my favorite suspenseful, like, you know, horror movies. Man, it's great.
And I really hope Mary Elizabeth Winstead does not go over the line. For the love of God, over the line. But Brad, number one here, you mentioned this earlier, and this is the one I challenge you to rewatch for this very reason, because my number one is The Train to Busan, because there are very rarely horror movies out there that can actually get me to shed a tear. This one did not do that for me. It made me pour tears. I mean, like, you give me a bucket, I will fill that bucket. This is how freaking sad of a movie this is. Pretty much quick synopsis real quick. A dad takes his daughter to go see his mother on a train to Busan. Huh, what a coincidence of that. But what they don't know is that passenger came in late onto the train and something's not right with her. Guess what? She's a zombie. So there's a zombie outbreak on the train and everything just goes completely nuts. But so there's just a lot of sad moments, a lot of great moments, a lot of cool moments, a lot of moments. This movie is absolutely fantastic. It is my number one zombie movie of all time. Check it out, Brad. Give it a rewatch. Number one, Train to Busan.
Great flick, man. It's gonna happen.
Dude, absolutely. And guys, that is our horror movie ranking for the year of 2016. Again, guys, every single year from here on out, it's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. But we want to know from you guys, what is your all's favorite movies for the year of 2016 for horror movies? Did you like our list? Are we right about our list? Or are we wrong about our list? Or is there a movie we forgot to mention? Let us know in the comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us down below in the description. All of our socials are down there, Patreon's down there. Check it out. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. And with that, we'll see you all for the next one for the year of 2017. And let's freaking go over the line.
Peace.